Good evening and welcome to Sunday Politics on Trust TV. I am Clement Oloyede. Tonight we examine the latest front in Nigeria's unfolding 2027 political battle, talking about the one that has moved beyond the campaign rhetorics in the four corners of the country to the corridors of power in Washington. The camp of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar is reported to have engaged a U.S. lobbyist in a bid to draw renewed attention to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's decades-old United States civil forfeiture records. The presidency, in response, has fired back, accusing Atiku of hypocrisy and also reviving the Ali Burton and William Jefferson corruption controversies that have long shadowed the former vice president. At the heart of this political exchange are familiar questions. Should allegations that never resulted in criminal convictions continue to shape public perceptions decades later? And is this a legitimate quest for accountability or another attempt to weaponize history ahead of another general election, talking about 2027 general election? But beyond the accusation and counter-accusations, we ask a very germane question. How is this battle for the political narrative shaping the road to 2027? And what are the implications for Nigeria's democratic institutions, international image, and geopolitical standing? To discuss these issues, we are joined right now by Dominic Alancha, a stalwart of the ruling All Progressive Congress, and later on we'll be joined by Dimeji Fabiyi, an ally of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who is also an official of the ADC. Good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Good evening.
Good to start with you. I was hoping that we'll start together with you and Fabiyi, but he's about a few minutes later he will be joining us. So whatever you say, be rest assured that he has a response for you.
No problem.
Let me start with what the presidency has responded as far as this matter is. But people are saying that lobbying is actually a legitimate part of international politics.
Absolutely.
So is the objection of the presidency and that of your party, is it towards the lobbying itself or the issues the lobbying tries to bring back to the public discourse? What exactly is the problem that the presidency and the APC has against Atiku's lobbying efforts in the United States?
Well, I can't particularly, point at the reason behind that objection, to the lobbying Atiku is, trying to do in the United States. But I think that the impression that Atiku is trying to, has created with this lobbying is the fact that he's trying to portray the country in a very bad light. And every good, administration, will oppose to that. And if you look at some of the issues that he is also bringing up, you mentioned the Halliburton issues. These are issues that, predate, this administration. If there's anybody to even answer questions with regards to all of those things is Atiku himself, because these are issues that happens under, their administration while they were in power. So I think the issue is portraying the country in a very bad light. Lobbying to me is not really a bad idea because in international politics and in trying to cement your relationship, your foreign policy, lobbying must also, be part of it. In recent time, we've seen how Nigeria, lobbied the United States to woo them in order to gain their support in fighting, terrorism and insurgencies in Nigeria. And we can clearly see the results, of that lobbying and partnership, that, we've been able to derive, by affiliating or associating or intelligence sharing, training and all of that with the United States. So it's not a bad idea. If you go to the United States today, even within the government, there is lobbyist group, they call them spin writers, who will, shape the perception of the people. If there is a bill before the Senate, people go there to lobby to ensure that everything happens in the interest of the people.
Yeah, so
lobbying is not completely a bad idea.
Yeah, from this your point, is it not so fair to now say perhaps Atiku's lobbyists now trying to call the attention of the Trump administration and the U.S. Congress to the character or the integrity of the person they are dealing with. That is the person of President Tinubu. Because over the past few weeks or few months, it seems that the relationship between the two countries has improved. And shouldn't there be look at that prism alone that, okay, perhaps it's not just about the election. Maybe it needs the U.S. government to actually know who they are dealing with and for them not to forget what transpired in the past.
I can assure you that Atiku is not doing it because he loved the country. He's doing it simply, majorly because of the 2027 upcoming election. Let me remind you that before now, let's say about 6 months ago, Nigerians, people feel that Tinubu or Nigerian government do not have a cordial relationship with the United States. A lot of persons were bringing the religious issues that United States will not support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on account of Muslim ticket. Therefore, some political, opposition parties, individuals like Atiku were whipping that sentiment up. But they were shocked that, just about a week or thereabout, last week it was in the media, how the President Donald Trump was commending Mr. President, for the fight against terrorism, for, protection of Christians in Nigeria. He wrote a letter commending the president. So it's more like, no, our agenda has failed. Let's revive it. That's why they engage, the services of these lobbyists to go to United States, lobby it, and paint the image of the country and our president in a bad light. But unfortunately, it has failed because Nigerians now knows better.
Well, if you claim now that Atiku's lobbyist target is to whip up the sentiments from historical precedents and that it does not reflect what is currently happening in the country, and the response of the presidency itself to revive the Alibotin and William Jefferson controversies involving Atiku Abubakar, does that not suggest that the presidency in itself or your party now also believes historical allegations remain kind of relevant in judging today's political leaders?
I agree with you that one of my leaders said that if you don't know your tomorrow, your yesterday, you can't be able to know your today, and you must know your today to navigate your future. So I believe in history, okay? And I believe that's why I'm one of those canvassing that history should be returned to school. But you see, you are painting an history that is not true. You are painting an history, that will distort, fact and mislead Nigerians. It's wrong.
Is that so?
That's what I'm telling you, that what Atiku is lobbying, okay, and some of the things they are trying to, bring up, they are not, in tandem with our reality. But you see, like the presidency is trying to respond by bringing up the issue of Halliburton and all of that, and these are historical facts and they are there. And these are issues that Atiku himself, are supposed to answer to. People have been jailed, in United States over the Halliburton. You are aware of that, But Atiku is working, and I have it on good authority that Atiku cannot even enter the United States. You get what I'm saying?
How good is that authority?
Well, I'm telling you, when last did you see Atiku visiting the United States?
He may have no reason to be there.
Yeah, well, if you said he has no reason to be there, there is no leader that doesn't, hobnob with the United States.
And that's what he's doing with his lobbyist firm, don't you think?
Well, like I said, okay, lobbying is allowed, but I won't lobby, on the basis of my own personal interest to the detriment of the country. Perhaps, and that is patriotism. Patriotism is to be able to protect the interests of your country, do everything in order to, enhance, the good image of your country. I was with one of our friends, who is a missionary in Nigeria from the United States. And one of their worries when they come to this country is that they don't see Nigeria in the light of how it was painted. They see it differently. Okay. I can't, even you as we are seated here today, you know, some months back, if you go to, you think that if you go to Borno State, Maiduguri precisely, you know, they are shooting everybody on the street and stuff like that. But when people go there, transact their business and come back from Maiduguri safely, they'll say, no, it's not what we really think. Though that is not to say that there are no insecurities within the state. There are. But I won't accuse the media, because I'm part of the media also. We like a kind of amplify it in a negative way.
So the government is of a lot of Nigerians.
No, it's not the reality. That's what I'm. No, that's not the reality. That the insecurity is there. I agree with you. Of course. Okay, but to amplify it, the other day I think the president, when he had a dinner with some media personalities and organizations, I believe your organization were there at the presidential. What was his appeal? The media should not amplify, you know, the activities of terrorists, bandits, kidnappers, and all of that.
But let me take you a little bit back before we go back to whether media amplifies or not amplify. You raised the question, you raised the point of Atiku doing this not for the love of the country, but for political gains. But some will argue that the allegations that around the forfeiture issue that is involving the president, though it's a civil forfeiture, there was no criminality, no criminal conviction, or neither was he indicted. That has to be set on the table. But shouldn't Nigerians be worried about the character, integrity, even if it was in the past of the person that is leading them? If Nigeria every day arrests suspected drug traffickers, suspected drug lords, shouldn't Nigerians be concerned about baggages around the president if the presidency itself has not at any point taken time out to really explain what happened in 1993 beyond what is being reported in the media? Shouldn't Nigerians be concerned?
Nigerians should be concerned. But you see, let me also remind you that this president is not coming to contest for the first time. In 2023, he was in the race, and since 2022, you know, all these allegations, barrage of allegations against the president. He's a drug baron, he's a this, there was forfeiture, there was this, he owned Lagos, he's a whatever, you know. But you see, we interrogated this. Nigerians are very sensible people, and they know who, you know, has the interest and the love of this country in his heart to lead this country. They found Atiku, the same Atiku contested with him in 2023. Yes. Why didn't Nigerians vote for him? They voted for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That is to tell you that they believe that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a man of character, is a man of integrity, is a man of accountability, and I believe that in 2027, you know, they are going to renew his mandate. So Atiku should concentrate, you know, rather than bringing up, you know, all this primordial sentiment of, you know, for future or whatever, is to concentrate. He has not told Nigerians what he's going to do differently from what this president is doing. And I think that is what I am more interested in. What is Atiku going to do differently in terms of our economy? What is Atiku going to do differently in terms of security? What is he going to do differently to improving our education, agriculture? You know, these are the issues Atiku should be engaging Nigerians, and not come and be telling us issues that have been dealt with in the past and is trying to resurrect them. It will not, you know, Nigerians will not listen to him.
It looks like a lot of Nigerians are very much interested in that topic that you think we should move on from. But still, let's hold your thought on that. I know you still have some things to say. We'll take a quick break now. When we come back, the conversation will continue, and hopefully Atiku's ally, Dimeji Fabiyi, will join us to give his own perspective. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Sunday Politics on Trust TV, and the conversation today is around the back and forth between the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and former Vice President Atiku Abubakar over the U.S. Lobbying questions and the past allegations against the former Vice President. Before the break, I announced that we'll be joined by Dimeji Fabiyi, and we're lucky now he's with us in the studio. Dimeji Fabiyi is an ally of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and also an official of the ADC. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Before you came in, Alancha has already held the gun and said your candidate should rather concentrate more on governance issue and stop whipping up sentiments where it's not needed. But the question now should Nigerians really see this lobbying effort as a legitimate effort to promote accountability, or is it just an attempt to internationalize Nigeria's domestic problems?
Well, thank you very much. Fair enough. I'm happy to see my friend. It's been a long time I saw him. It was the staunch ally of Atiku Abubakar too some years back.
So before you broke ranks?
I remember we ran a lot of things together. Yes. For the good of the party we find ourselves. Right. Good to see you, my brother. But to your question, I don't think it's just it's not a waste of time. You see, when Nigeria as a country, if there's anything that has taken us to this level we find ourselves, is because of leadership problem, in terms of competence, in terms of credibility, in terms of excellence. We've had presidents in this country. Any president that comes with the good, the bad, the ugly, and then there's no president that you ever have, or any leader as it were, that will not, no matter how bad you think he is, he will do something that is very unique, that is very good, that you can actually say, this is what he did, that is good when he was there. But what we are saying at the moment is this: Nigeria is struggling with its image internationally, and I don't think Nigeria should be in the league of the nation that will have a president that carries lots of baggages. This thing has been on for quite a while now, and the matter has not been resolved. It has not closed. It's still there. A few months ago, even the DOJ said by June or August this year they're going to release a lot of files concerning this matter. And as the last time I checked, this matter came up at the presidential election petition tribunal. Yes, and what the Court of Appeal said was that the timing was wrong. That should have been a matter that will come up before, before that time, that moment. That was, I think, was a question of timing. Even in Nigeria, it wasn't laid to rest. So what Atiku is just trying to do is to ensure that we have a leader, a president who is clean, who is above board. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not above board. He has so many things, So it goes beyond just saying we are playing the local politics. So, and then Nigeria as a nation, we have a duty. They call us the giant of Africa, the leader of Africa. We have other presidents across Africa that do not have, I don't know how many of them has drug-related issues. So, but when, as an opposition, these are some of the things. Honestly, if it were to be the other way around, yes, President Tinubu would have done more. Atiku is still, he's a man with large heart. He's still very, very fair, moderate in the kind of fight, politically, the kind of fight he puts up politically. So we all know how ruthless Mr. President can be. Jagaban of Africa.
In this fight.
And we see what he has done. No president, because we've not had it in history, would do what Mr. President has done to opposition in the last 1 year or two, or since he came on board. These are the things we are. So if someone is now telling me that Atiku should just concentrate, Atiku has been talking about good governance. Atiku has provided so many solutions to Nigeria problem. And I can tell you this, you remember there's no election. I'm happy we were together some years back. No election that Atiku has participated that he did not come up with his policy choices, what he's going to do, and those things are those engagements that met the exigencies of those times, of those moments. Let me give you an instance. In 2011, when he was run and he got to the primary level, he didn't get on the ballot. That was when he talked about true federalism. That was when we were having this Niger Delta crisis. He proffered solution to Niger Delta. That was what gave birth to amnesty. that was given to Niger Delta people. From there, by 2015, we already had started having Boko Haram problem in the northeast, prevalent in the northwest. He provided solution to it. He talked about employment. How it's going to generate more employment. The money the government is wasting on so many things. He told us how he's going to use it. He was going to use it to generate employment for our team youth that are not employed. He talked about citizenship. No election cycle. Right now, as we speak, he's preparing his policy choices for this country that will take us out of this. This government came up from day one. They told us, guys, when we remove subsidy, there's going to be stability in the economy, high tariff, high taxes, unification of our forex. Economy stable now? And you are saying an Atiku who has been providing solution to all of this. They should not talk. So the issue of US is there because we need to clean up the image. We need our president, our leader must be somebody who is above board, not somebody. We are being disgraced across the globe because of this.
All right. So
I just returned from the US, and I know how they treated our passport. It's not. Yes, it didn't start during President Tinubu's. But when you said I am coming to fix, I have the capacity. You should have fixed it. Not you carrying a lot of baggages. Do you know the effect that can have on our nation? They can use it as a bargaining to negative that to achieve things that can negatively affect this country. All right. These are the issues.
Well, I was going to ask that. I'm sure the question that is on the mind of Alancha and other APC stalwart is that if Atiku Abubakar had so much preferred these all solutions in the previous elections, how comes he has never emerged a winner? That's on one side. And the second part is that the presidency countered the lobbying position by saying that Atiku also had cases in the US, the Ali Burton, the William Jefferson's case, and shouldn't he be coming to the table with a full hand of equity?
The first thing they should have done was to go to US and go and institute case and revive it as Atiku has done. It does nothing stops them from doing that. If they're so sure they want us to, now let me now educate them. Atiku has nothing to do with Ali Burton, and they have let them bring it out. They should go and read the case file of Ali Burton. As at the time this matter happened, Atiku was not even in government. Atiku was just struggling to even raise his business, to build his businesses when this matter happened. Atiku was not in government.
But the record of the time was 1990s to early 2000s. It was a period. It was a span of period, not just.
Was Atiku in government in 1990? Atiku came to government in 1999.
But he was in government in the early 2000s.
So then tell me what was his involvement at that time?
Well, not me. I wasn't invested. But what the information we've gathered is that
should bring it out.
Yes.
See,
okay.
Just like they are saying they don't want the matter has been laid to rest. If they so much believe that it has not been laid to rest, let them go to America and exhume it. So now let's leave that one. Let's go to Jefferson matter. Thank God we have in our constitution here. There's a law. I don't know if I can quote. Maybe Alancha will help me quote that section that says until a man is tried and found guilty, is innocent.
Okay, presumption of innocence.
Presumption of innocence.
Yes,
tell me today, and I want to challenge my brother here. Tell me, since Atiku left this government, now before I go to Jefferson, since Atiku left government, tell me one anti-graft agency that has invited Atiku for questioning, for trial, then conviction. Tell me one.
Same is applicable to the president.
He's trying to respond to you now.
Just hold on. So I will lose my thought. Okay. He has had this chance. Let me have my chance. Right. No. Now let's go back. Nothing. Then let's go back to Jefferson. The case file is there. Jefferson was the only one that was tried.
Yes. That
was prosecuted. That was convicted. It has nothing to do with Atiku. And if they have it, let them bring it up. Atiku left government. He has been fighting sitting government in the last few years. If truly you think these people, all these presidents are mumu, no. If there was anything against him, you think they would not have used it against him? Even his tough period, President was, you think if he has anything, he wouldn't have used it against Atiku? Let us be honest with ourselves. Don't let us say in the name of politics. If you have anything, Atiku threw a challenge in 2017. He said, anybody, we call it Atiku challenge, anybody, if you have anything against me that has to do with corruption, bring it up. Since 2017 up to today, Google it, nobody has been able to come up with any. So what are we now saying? What are we talking about? Let us be honest with ourselves. Anyone that President Tinubu, if anything he has done well, we'll say he has done well, but the one he has done, we'll tell him he has not done well. I will not lie on him. Will not.
All right. I think I have a question for both of you now, because apparently the argument that Alancha has made before you came in is similar to what you are making, that Tinubu has not been convicted of any wrongdoing. The same thing you're making, that Atiku, there have been allegations, but there has not been any substantial investigation or conviction.
There's a difference.
Yes.
President Tinubu has been tried in the US. Atiku is the only vice president, only public official that has been tried in two continents, and I've never been found guilty.
President Tinubu.
What do we call it? The $460,000. What does that mean? Even if it is civil,
it's for future.
It's for future.
Yes.
What does that mean?
What?
There was a finality on that he had to return $460,000. If he was not guilty, he wouldn't return that $460,000. Don't let us miss this.
I know. Let's not mix up matter.
We all know that. President Tinubu has been tried and he has been convicted. That was why he returned the $460,000. Tell me where Atiku has returned or forfeited $1. Right. Tell me.
Maybe let me just let me quickly, before you come in, you come. I'll give you the listing. But just for the record, civil forfeiture does not really translate to trial. What happened was that there was a probable cause. According to legal people, they were explaining that probable cause does not always mean that they have a strong case to for this thing.
Did they forfeit the money or not?
Of course, there are records of that.
What was the forfeiture?
There were records of that okay, there was a probable cause, but the question is that you still get your time on this. The question I want to ask is that does the lack of criminal conviction, does it really settle questions about integrity? And I want you to start, Alancha.
Absolutely. You see, like he said on Atiku, same is applicable to Mr. President.
No, he has made some differences now.
Yes, no. You cannot point at anywhere. I don't know if he has the record where the president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was convicted of any criminal case or criminal charge, either in the US. Mr. President, don't mislead Nigerian, has no history of criminal conviction on his head.
Yeah, that is
so. Lack of criminal, record is a testament to someone's integrity. When you are a former convict, it brings your integrity to question. So my answer to you is that yes, it is a testament to the integrity of the person or whoever, whether Atiku, whether President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is a testament to his or her integrity.
So you admit now that even the fact that Atiku has not also been convicted, it means that his integrity is intact.
Well, I'm not challenging his integrity, and I won't say that he's not a man of integrity, but we are talking about governance. What can he do? All he's trying to do is to, let me advise my friend and who will in turn advise former Vice President Atiku, the best persons or the best people to lobby is Nigerians. If Atiku has been proffering solutions to the mirage of challenges confronting this nation, confronting this country, why has he not been elected? He is unelectable. Okay? He is unelectable. So what I'm saying is that rather than going to whip a dead horse by bringing up an issue that has been laid to rest, come back to Nigeria, go and talk to Nigerians, show your workings, by telling us your roadmap towards rescuing Nigeria from, if you said there is insecurity, the economy, agriculture, education, job creation. These are what Nigerians want to hear. Tell them, and not to go, and begin to paint the image of your president, the image of your country in a bad light. And let me also correct an impression.
Yes, okay.
The United States have a policy to make America great. Trump came on that, with that agenda.
Yes.
And today there is no African country that is not well scrutinized in the US. So if you go to US and they are trying to scrutinize, it's a normal thing.
All right.
We also do that in this country.
All right, so I'm sure Mr. Fabiyi, you're boiling up with your response. But before you start your response with, he has admitted that lack of conviction testified to the integrity of both his principal, President Tinubu, and also Atiku Abubakar. Do you also agree that the fact that President Tinubu has not been convicted, his integrity is still perhaps intact?
Well, I don't know about that, because you have to look at the gravity of the offense we are talking about. Why are the American government, why is the American people are angry today? Because it was not a credit card fraud, it was drug case. It was a drug, a heroin. That a lot of people have died as a result of that. You look at the gravity of this offense. Look at the gravity of what you have tried for, what you forfeited a whole whopping $460,000 for. It wasn't a child's play. Don't let us mince word about all of these things. Now, that is that. I don't know about that integrity, but I know Atiku has more integrity. A man who has been tried in 2 continents. Africa, there is no, but if President Tinubu has been investigated like Atiku was investigated, he won't be standing today as the president. I tell you. It was investigated in the US, it was investigated here, and nothing came out of it. So that is that. Now, on that, Atiku was electable. I am surprised hearing this from my friend here. Who is more electable between Tinubu and Atiku?
The result of 2023.
The results.
We know, everybody, we know how the
result is out there.
If it's not electable, then why is the president and the APC approach, why are they jittery? Whatever Atiku has done, because he's not elected, you should have left him. You should have been struggling to clear all of this, to fight all of this thing, raising dead horse, Jefferson, Halliburton, when he hit you hard below the belt. So if he was not electable, Nigerians today will not be following his party, will not put him in front. PDP did that twice. The fact that Atiku did not win the election, we knew why he did not win in 2019, we knew why he did not win in 2023. It wasn't because what are the positive choices of Mr. President? I'm asking him before he came to power. Tell me, what are the things Mr. President prefer? He told us that if I don't have power, if I don't give power in so many times, don't elect me. If I don't do this, I don't do. So all of these things, I mean,
there's some will say he still has 6 months.
No, not even. Hold on. You see, there are. I have an answer for him. I have an answer for him.
I know you. I'm sure you probably have an answer for him.
Yes,
but Nigerians are actually, because this conversation has been going on now, and I've been monitoring conversation. Nigerians are actually also interested in the amount of money both the presidency and Atiku Abubakar is committing to lobbying firm. It's not just Atiku Abubakar that is engaged in lobbying firm.
Yeah,
1.2 million or so from
$9 million.
$9 million from your
so
from the presidency.
As if Atiku was
my brother, you see this.
What are you lobbying
for? Let
him talk.
Let me say something.
Yes,
you see,
right.
I don't work on speculations.
Good.
Some of this, $9 million, $1.2 million, and stuff. To me, they are all speculations.
Oh, they are already in documents.
Well, I've not seen the document, so I cannot tell you that yes, it's real.
Do you believe me as the host of this?
As the host of this
program.
I mean, you also have your mind.
But if I tell you on good authority that the government has there are records that $9 million has been, and the government has acknowledged that this is part of the.
No, see, let me tell you. You see,
will you agree that?
No, let me tell you something. You see, I told you from beginning here that even in the US, it's unfortunate that we don't do that in our country here. For example, the Congress, there are spin writers, okay, who shape the perception of people. These spin writers are what you call lobbyists today. It's a legal thing, it's a normal thing to do. Okay, so it's not a completely bad idea for you to lobby, in order to have a positive image and a working relationship, with other countries whose, you're going to have some kind of mutual benefit from them. Yes. So it's not completely a bad idea, because it is internationally, it is done. Countries does that.
It is legal.
It is legal to paint your image in a positive light in order to woo investors into your country and stuff like that. Right. And at the time, if at all truly Nigeria committed $9 million, to that lobbyist, it was necessary, because like I told you ab initio, they painted Nigeria in a very bad light. They paint Nigeria in a way that looks, I am a Christian, okay, and by the special grace of God, a minister in church. Okay, they painted it as if, there are no Christians anywhere. There are Christian community, they are shooting them, and stuff like that. It was necessary to do that. Right. But I cannot attest to the fact that $9 million was committed to that. But if there was a commitment, it's not a bad idea. It's a legal thing.
So, how do you respond to that?
It is good. I'm happy that he says it, because it is good that Mr. President went to pay. He said it was not, but we know that Mr. President paid $9 million to lobby. I'm happy that he did that part, because he was part of those who gave us that image by his conduct, by his involvement in drug activities.
It's alleged involvement, yes.
Whether it's alleged and he forfeited. Why did he forfeit the money? Allegedly. Because he said the money the money he forfeited were product of heroin transaction, drug transaction.
Suspected.
I'm not. Let me tell you something. I'm not.
Let him finish.
Okay.
Let him finish.
So let us call a spade now. We're not fools in this country now.
But the same countries that
forfeited $460,000.
Yes.
American government you cannot be credit card deal, and they'll be saying it was drug deal. It was a heroin. It was drug transaction. That money was a product of that drug transaction. So what I'm saying in essence is that it was part of those who wrecked the image of Nigeria at that time. Now they're all bouncing back at us now. So let us call a spade a spade. Right. Alancha, one day you are going to be a president. I don't want you to have the kind of image. Will you pray to have the kind of image Mr. President has today?
If I'm Tinubu today, I'll be very happy. I'll be very happy, because you see, Tinubu has impacted on this country positively. Let's even look at the lobbying you are talking about. What is the result today? Just about a week or thereabout, it was in the media, though the letter was written about 2 weeks ago, where President Donald Trump was commending the president, for the fight against terrorism, for protecting Christians, and stuff like that. We saw the relationship after all of that lobbying, the partnership between United States and Nigerian military, the result it yielded, that ISWAP's second in command was even eliminated in this country. So these are some of the results that is coming positively. So what is wrong if the president went to United States to seek for their help, to seek for their assistance, in the areas of intelligence sharing, in the areas of training, military, operations and stuff like that, and it's yielding positive results. Today, a lot of
president did not go to lobby because of all of these things. Let me tell you.
Oh, he went to lobby because
he wants to return at all costs.
According to you.
So can we now say that Atiku went to lobby? Can we now say that Atiku went to lobby because he want to be president? I told you before he came that Atiku was not in the US to lobby, because he loves Nigeria. He's doing that based on his own interest, and 2027 is his interest.
Gentlemen,
just 1 minute. So
let me ask you the question. You can use your 1 minute to join everything together.
Now.
With this past few weeks, you've seen the letter from President Trump. Are you worried that...
I've seen a letter that is in serious contention. That the city is
under the US government in Nigeria has not argued against that.
This government is not capable of doing. We've seen them organizing fake reverends, fake pastors. We've seen them do all sorts of things. So there's nothing they cannot do. So we don't even trust them. Nigeria don't even trust them. So that's why everything they do is suspect.
The question I wanted to ask is that, are you worried that the efforts of your lobbying firm may actually not yield any effect? And if that worry is in your mind, what exactly is the end goal of all
What
this?
do you mean you will not yield any effect?
If the US government is still relating very well with the president, you say they should investigate.
And let me tell you, there's something called diplomacy. Just mention it.
Okay.
The fact that we are lobbying does not mean if there's any diplomatic engagement that has to be done, American government will cease from doing it. They will do it. We saw a tale of two letters. We saw the letter President Trump wrote to the president of Argentina. We saw the one he wrote to the president of Brazil. Then we saw our own. Can't you look at that? It doesn't make any sense to you.
That letter has been in the public domain for over a week now.
Why is it different from
the embassy in Nigeria, it may not be the same. Do you want to
let him finish his question?
Why is it different? I can bring it out to you so that you see the tale of two letters. We saw the American has standard. Look at that letter. It was written somewhere. You now put flag of Nigeria, flag of US, and we saw other letters that American government shown out. So it is suspect, and they should not put wood over our eyes. We don't trust President Bola Tinubu because they can do anything. A government that lied to the people like this, a government that hire Reverend Father, desecrate in that institution because they want to win election.
I want to ask both of you a question about the real issues that concerns Nigerians. Months to election, should we still be talking about historical issues that probably have come up every cycle and nothing is changed when we have real governance issue? Because I'm saying this on the background of what former President Olusegun Obasanjo also raised earlier this week about Atiku allegedly bribing late Galina. But a lot of people have suggested that even your camp, you suggested that he's just trying to rewrite history. But the question Nigerians are asking is that shouldn't the focus of campaign has not actually started officially, but shouldn't the focus of engaging Nigerians be about issues that affect their life and not revisiting issues that happened in 1993, issues that happened in the 90s to 2000s and what have you? The questions is for both of you, so I'll start with Alancha.
Well, you see, before I came in here, I was watching a video clip of their spokesman. Was that Nigerian actor Kenneth Okonkwo, who said that people accuse him that he's now the spokesman person to Atiku, and before now he critique his current principal on corruption and stuff like that, and he simply told them that, look, what he did that time, he did it very well, and he was only amplifying the voice of former President Olusegun Obasanjo. Okay, you see, I want to recommend my watch to you. By the time you read that book, because there is, when you know your staffs here, you know their competence, you know their character more than any other person that is coming here like me or him coming in here. You know them better. Obasanjo know Atiku very well. And whatever Obasanjo said about Atiku, my brother, is true. Nigerians know is true. And that is why Atiku is unelectable. Nigerians cannot, entrust him with the leadership of this country. They can't.
Well, but because I'm coming to you, it's just the last point he made about Obasanjo's was being that you can take it to the bank about Atiku, but shouldn't it also worry you that because Obasanjo has never hidden a support for another candidate in this election, Peter Obi, couldn't that have been a basis for whipping this all allegation up again? And I asked you a question, probably you missed that aspect, that shouldn't the focus really be about the issues in the country at this moment? I just want maybe you could tackle those two.
I should throw that question back to you.
Okay.
Ask us about the issues, and we will tell you what our party, our president is doing differently in terms of providing solution to the issues you're talking about. I believe you are talking about security.
Yes.
You're talking about economy. You're talking about unemployment. You mentioned energy. Okay, we are doing excellently well in those areas. Just a few days ago, the president created additional 4 military division. The president have invested more in terms of military training, in terms of military operation technology. which is, doing a lot of wonders, but they are not coming.
Is being created,
they are not.
what
they are not. They are not. No, the result is there. The result is there. And see, let me tell you, the military is going to employ. The president has given them a marching order to employ over 28,000 or almost 28,000 personnel to boost off, boots on ground and stuff like that. So the president is doing a lot. The macroeconomy is getting stabilized.
What about the
and
micro?
I know, you see, we must also admit the fact that
what about the micro?
The micro, yes. The microeconomy
still struggle to eat.
What would bring stability to the microeconomy is the stabilization of this macroeconomy.
All right. I think because of our time, Fabi, your thoughts.
Let me tell you something. Let me start from the issue of the president.
Maybe just 1 minute or so.
You give him so much time. Give my own time.
It's because of time, so just try.
Let me start with the former president Olusegun Obasanjo. I think it's Baba alone that can actually explain to the world this reckless obsession with Atiku. Here was a man who helped to become president, who sacrificed so many things to make you president. But what you can do is, because he stood against all term and all that, you have remained unforgiven all this. But it's only him that can, Mr. President, that can tell the world this sickening obsession with Atiku at every time Atiku is on the ballot. This same Atiku was supported in 2019. So I will leave Baba to his conscience, because he's my Baba, and where I come from, we don't insult elders, but another. So that is for that. Baba and his conscience.
But you insulted Tinubu by calling him a convict, an ex-convict.
Is he not? Don't let us go back there. So does that?
He's not.
Does Obasanjo has a doctor to answer in US?
He's not.
So let us leave that.
Tinubu is not.
So that I won't miss my life. So then you talk about issues. Yes, it has to be about issues, and that has been Atiku's tradition. And that's why you always see him come up with policy choices, policy document, his blueprint on what he wants to do. And at every campaign, he discusses them. He tells you see the one we are coming up when the campaign starts. Do you understand? So it should actually be about issue, not about when somebody, do you know something that they do in their camp? The moment Atiku says something, rather than address that, they start insulting him, insulting anybody around him. Everybody, Nigerians are saying all of these things. That's not what. Now it's something that they have done so much well. With this hunger, I don't know how much is buying fuel now. I don't know. Before they tell you it's because of some
Strait of
Hormuz. I like any question. You will say they are not ready to do anything because President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was not prepared for governance. He was not prepared for leadership.
But
I look out for his economic blueprint for this economy. I couldn't see. That is why the somersault. It's only a military man that will come from an hangover that will come out on your inauguration and say, "I'm removing subsidy," without thinking it through.
Go and read the New Hope document.
I didn't say anything when he was talking. Please,
let's wrap up his talk.
So now look at what they are doing to our budget. Since this government came up, look, they are not is the most fiscally irresponsible government I've seen. Look at our budget. 2024 NNPC audited account. Did you see what it says? 7.1 trillion for pipeline protection. Does that make any sense? And how do you provide the good for the people? We are hungry. So many families cannot even send their children to school. Everybody's hungry. You are telling me that the economy is working. How? How?
All right, gentlemen, we are practically out of time, but in the last
killings every day.
Our last 1 minute.
Killings every day. I'm telling me, I solved the security. We will see how 30,000 soldiers will solve the security.
In the last 1 minute, for our last 1 minute, if you can tell Nigerians why they should place their confidence in your side, and not just because of the shortcomings you see in the opponent, but why truly your side deserve Nigerians' attention in 2027. Just 5 seconds.
Yes, Nigerians, should place have confidence in President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because you see, I always tell people that reforms it's not the Renew Hope agenda policies. It's not going to be a magic one. It's something that will work with time, patience, and consistent implementation of those policies.
All right.
So with time, give it 8 years maximum. You begin to see the result of this policy.
Nigerians should ask themselves whether they are better today than they were in 3 years ago before President Bola Ahmed came. No, it's not for you to arrest.
Thank you. Thank you,
What bring is an alternative, and
I believe we'll continue this conversation after the program.
Like this government is running us down.
Thank you very much for joining us on the conversation. Unfortunately, the time is not on our side again, but the conversation continues. We hope to invite you on another edition of this program to take it forward. Gentlemen, thank you for coming once again. Viewers, I believe that's as much as we can take on this edition of the program. Thank you for joining us, and do well to stay tuned. Trust TV's programming continues, and Sunday Politics will return next week by 8 p.m., but Daily Politics continues tomorrow by 8 p.m. I am Clement Oloyede. Good night.